valued travel partners, and welcome. Hello, Jeff. Still summer in Houston. Ooh, 58 degrees. Crystal in Vegas. That's chilly willy. Well, we're in South Florida. It's summer year round, year round. Michigan. Janice, I'm wondering how cold it is there. I'm sure how Arizona, Lindsay, is nice and warm. So welcome, everybody. It's rare, rare, rare that Oklahoma's cool. Can't believe that. Oh, of course you're cool, but you know what I mean. Cool as in temperature. So it's rare that we have back-to-back webinars, right? So last week we had our Halloween webinar. That was so fun, super cool, straight from here. And I'd just done like 2 hours of traffic. So this week, we're going to do a few updates to last week, which is super cool. So for those of you joining us for the first time, I'm Carmen Roy, the VP of Sales for this amazing, iconic brand, Princess Cruises, the original Love Boat. So last week, by the way, my partner in profit, everybody's favorite, Marsha, is not here. She's on a very well-deserved vacation because her daughter's getting married next weekend. So congratulations to Marsha, and what an amazing experience to live in the moment. And then update, last week I told you all, surprise, hopefully my son and his girlfriend don't watch, but they did get engaged finally on Saturday after 2.5 years. So we're thrilled to have so much to look forward to, right? So I told them, and we're all going on Sun Princess for New Year's as a family. So we'll be celebrating them yet again. So you always ask us, and I want you to know, we value your time. We truly know how busy you are, right? So if you can't get through the entire webinar, don't worry. Guess what? We're recording it and we're doing Q&A as we go through, because I've found sometimes we do Q&A as we go through, or we'll wait to the end and make sure we do it then. And then, of course, the favorite QR code alert. I'm going to call Joe the king of QR codes, because even our business cards, this is like the wave of now. Thank you, Jessica. So happy. I'm thrilled that my family is expanding. It's a big moment. I cried more than her parents did. So Melissa's parents didn't cry. I was just like, so in the moment. So QR codes, we love including those. So let me tell you what's important. If you don't see my beautiful shirt, what is this all about? We are in the midst of what it's voting season. Oh yeah, well, maybe it was voting season 2 days ago, but the real voting season is the Reader's Choice Awards, right? So Travel Weekly annually has these incredible awards. And by the way, we are up for like 22 categories, but we have won Best in Alaska 20 times. I know, there's your QR code. I'm pausing so that you can get it. You can vote till November 22nd. So we're still in the midst of it, right? Let's go for the gold. Let's make it 21, because you know how proud we are. We won a lot of stuff last year. By the way, this year's Sun Princess is best new ship. I mean, there is so much that it's record-breaking categories. So we are at Cruise World. I'm sure nobody's tuning in from Cruise World because they have all those training and learning and educational seminars. But we were at Cruise World. It kicked off yesterday. It was an amazing, amazing start with an incredible panel. A general session, actually. It was the Carnival Corporation. So we had Josh Weinstein, and then we had a beautiful Jeopardy kind of competition with our own John Paget, president of Princess. And then they had a panel in the afternoon for Cruise World, which was really cool. It was myself and many of our other colleagues. You'll notice Vicky Freed's up there, Kirk Neal from Carnival, and we had the opportunity to, speak. They give you a little question. It's called Mastermind. And so I had to reveal, talk about a great marketing opportunity, hundreds of our advisors there. I had to make sure that they voted for us. So I was wearing this t-shirt, and if you'll look, it has the QR code in the back. I promise at the end of the show, I will show you the QR code, but really important. And people ask me, well, why? Why is it so important, Carmen? And it's not about the awards. It's about the third-party endorsement that it provides you as a sales professional. So it's not you saying it, it's not me, it's just Reader's Choice. So again, many categories. Number 1 in Alaska, vote. And you can only vote from only once from an IP address. So I voted for my personal email, my business email. I think I'm pulling out emails for the dog. So let's get on with our program, because we have a lot of content. Oh boy, we're doing 26, 27 Caribbean, can you imagine? And Panama Canal. And joining me, Blake Wheely. Welcome, Blake, our market performance at Princess Cruises. Welcome, Blake. First time on Connect with Princess, right?
Yes, nice. Thanks you for having me, Carmen. And yeah, first time, and just recently joined Princess. So thank you for trusting me with this today.
So qualify for me when you say just recently joined Princess. What does that mean?
We just hit the 2 month mark, so I
8 weeks?
yeah, 8 weeks.
Fantastic. So how long have you been in the business? Because I know you've been at other cruise places. So I'm glad you finally found your forever home.
Yes, I'm loving it here. This is my second jaunt at Carnival Corp, actually. So I started at Carnival years ago, actually for the first time in 2005 in college, and then I went corporate in 2012. Had a moved over to Royal for a little bit, and now I'm here. So I'm happy to be back and
Welcome
love
back.
Princess. Thank you.
And I see that great picture with Arnold Donald. So wow, he was amazing. Great shot. So what is market performance? Can you, before we get started with our webinar, because I know you're going to focus on obviously 26, 27 Caribbean, which is near and dear to our heart because we're in
Hmm.
Port Everglades where our ships sail from. But obviously we're also going to talk Panama Canal. What does market performance mean? What's the
Market
job?
performance, yeah, it's a relatively new team, and we kind of call it the air traffic control tower, if you will. So we liaise amongst a number of teams, from yours to revenue management, as well as two primary ones, and marketing. So we work with those three really closely, and then a couple of others as well to really bring a bunch of different elements of the business together, keep communication flowing between teams, and look at how our trades like Caribbean, Panama Canal, Alaska are performing relative to each other and rolling up to the business.
That is fantastic because I tell you, I know we're going to focus on 26, 27, and we'll, at the end, I always talk about what's new, what's next here. So we'll talk about it. But I'll let you take it away because obviously it's exciting to think that we're in 26, 27, and we've had a great 24. 25 is shaping up to be an amazing year for us. So
Yes, it is.
the more destinations, the more years that we open up, the more options that we can give our incredible guest, right? So you'll take it away. Talk to me. When is it on sale? What's going on? They love their loyalty week. So off we go.
All right, let's do this. And please stop me for questions, Joey. We talked about, or Carmen. I talk a lot too, or whatever. So please jump
Yeah,
in as needed.
I like
But
to, and Blake, I had to tell you, right? So I can talk 20 minutes to a doorknob. So I promise I'll be
okay,
real quiet. I won't interrupt unless it's important. And then I always say it's always technical. So Murphy's Law, it always happens. So don't, if something goes, we always have backup systems. Not a problem. And then our travel advisors will put their questions in the chat and then we'll pop them up. So I might be interrupting, but let's talk straight through 26, 27
all right.
season. Incredible. All you.
Let's do it. Thank you very much. So 26, 27. I cannot believe we're talking about 26, 27, and 25, which Carmen said has been a shaping up to be an awesome year. So hopefully we'll have an even better season in 26 and 27 because we have a lot of new exciting things, including biggest Caribbean program ever and a fantastic Panama Canal program I'm going to walk you through today. So first things first, what we're talking about fall 26 and spring 27. So a couple of years out, which is going on sale right around my birthday, I must say, which is the 17th, going on sale for Loyalty Week on the 12th, with a $200 onboard credit offer. So don't forget about that. Plus, there's the Sanctuary bonus that I wanted to just call out before I forget. That's ongoing, I think, through December at some point. So there's a couple of different things in play. The one here is November 12th, Loyalty Week. You got the offer there, and then on sale to the public for November 19th. So those are our key dates, and we'll talk a little bit about specific dates for both Caribbean and Panama Canal as we go through. So let's talk about Caribbean first. Caribbean is bread and butter for Princess. I've been in the Caribbean for ever and ever and ever, and this is our biggest season ever, which is really exciting. So 26, 27, biggest season ever. And I think the word that comes to mind for the two words that come to mind for me are variety and convenience. So if you just look at the numbers here, we're going on sale on the 19th with 219 departures. We've got 5 to 14 day voyages, so we're looking at anything from a quick getaway check to a 14-day more immersive southern, eastern, western Caribbean, all of the above voyages, and 11 ships in the Caribbean this year that are home porting between New York, blanketed all around the coast over to Galveston. So we really have the coast blanketed. We've got drive markets covered. We've got fly markets covered. We've got just about every island you can covered, and tons of different combinations from shorts to longs and immersive voyages for your client. So
And
really,
that's a huge commitment too, to put 11 ships doing the Caribbean. Mostly they look at us as obviously an Alaska brand. Please go to the next slide. Absolutely, because I'm going to talk about home port next. And
Okay.
you bring up East Coast home ports, right? So that is
Yes.
super exciting because we've been talking about it since, our beautiful Caribbean princess will be joining us in November in Port Canaveral. So now, as we look forward, we want everybody to understand you now have a premium cruise experience option. And all of these home ports, so we're going to talk about Caribbean. Caribbean is big. They're normally used to Alaska. So do know that Caribbean
Hmm.
and Europe, all three of those trades or destinations are very big in our brand portfolio. Hence why we're
Hmm.
dedicating this. Off to you.
Thank you, ma'am. So before I forgot to mention on my little personal upfront there because I didn't want to bore you all as the new guy with a story of my life, but I am a travel agent. So I'm going to try to frame as much as we can as we go through this around, how to ideas to think about in talking to your clients, questions to ask, things to think about that are new with Princess to just keep in the back of your mind as you're talking to existing clients and new folks. So just like Carmen said, this being an East Coast blanket, if you will, we've got that convenience piece where, whether you are near a port in Florida, you are near the Bright Line in Florida, you can go to a couple of different ports that way. If you're in New York, you can get to the Caribbean. If you're in Galveston, you've got a new ship coming, newer, bigger, everything's bigger and better in Texas. We'll talk a little bit about that. But I think a great piece that I recently learned because I was on Majestic Princess with family. I hadn't been on Princess in a long time. And I noticed something very specific about it that was different from my times on Carnival and Royal, which are great. I was like, where's the a really unique middle space for Princess? And it's that premium cruise experience that is a little more relaxed than the ultra premium you might say, but personalized. It's a big ship, small feel, which I absolutely loved. The personalized service with medallion and just that extra touch that came at every single point. I think is something that I noticed and remembered from years ago with Princess. It really sets it apart.
Yeah,
And I'll
our
get a little bit.
medallion class experience, Blake. I have to interrupt you because I know you're new, but you
Hmm.
probably have been already, told all about this exclusivity because the medallion class
Hmm.
technology is exclusive to our brand. And the interesting thing is, I tell folks, don't get caught up in the technology. The reality is, this technology paves the way for big ship, accommodations with
Hmm.
a very personalized yacht-like experience. So it
That's
really
right.
puts our premium brand in an even bigger and better category. But the
Hmm.
next slide I want folks to see because most people think of us as you know, and it's true, right? The Love Boat. So the brand
Hmm.
started in California, in LA, right? Can you forget Captain's Tubing, Mexican Riviera? We actually
Yep.
tagged that and named it. But all of these East Coast Caribbean home ports are big, right? New
Hmm.
York, Fort Lauderdale, Galveston, San Juan, and when I think of Port Canaveral coming in this year. So love that you're able to put it in there and which ships are going to be sailing because that's great.
Absolutely. So, I mean, the big news, of course, is we've got Sun and Star, and not only do we have Sun and Star in the Caribbean, we've got Star going through the canal and a couple of, I'll call them specialties that each is doing. Sun, of course, is out and receiving accolades as number one right out the door, and I'm sure Star will be the same. So we're excited for that. I just want to call out on this, and then we'll move on and start talking about some of the specifics, the places you go, the things you can see from each of these ports. But the Galveston port I was mentioning earlier, where does Princess fit in? As you're talking to your clients, what's right? Where you're always trying to put your clients in the right place that they're going to, hopefully fall in love with, and hopefully Princess. I think Galveston's a really interesting opportunity to think about for those of you that sell in that market or find someone who is going to sell into that market because it's a new brand in the space. It is that premium brand with that extra touch, that big ship with the yacht feel with Medallion Crumb just said. So I think that's just keep that in mind as we talk about some of these new ports. Same for New York and a lot of the drive folks that are coming from the markets around that port. So again, blanketing the East Coast, new options coming in 26, 27, Galveston, and lots going on in Fort Lauderdale as well as Port Canaveral. So Fort Lauderdale, we're just going to talk quickly about each of the ports. And as you're thinking about perhaps let's just take a family, for example, or a multi-gen family, since we're on Fort Lauderdale here, that's not necessarily a drive family from Florida. They're coming in from somewhere that they're flying, or they've got a couple of options. Fort Lauderdale, Port Canaveral, doesn't matter from a distance standpoint. They got to get there, right? Fort Lauderdale is great for multi-gen travel. It's next to Everglades National Park, which is appealing for kind of a family day or going out with a group of adults. The itineraries that you can get, itineraries from Fort Lauderdale are the most varied and really awesome. So you can get to the Southern Caribbean and go 14 days on a back-to-back, which is super fantastic if you've got somebody looking for an immersive, diverse, multi-experience Caribbean cruise. Maybe they've already done the Grand Cayman, Cozumel runs before, and they're looking for something a little different. Another Fort Lauderdale win there. And then
Fort Lauderdale is very big for pre and post
mm-hmm.
for us. And look at the gorgeous beaches. I mean, they're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So much so, just like we make commitments in LA for our West Coast coastals with new tonnage, so have we done it for Fort Lauderdale with both of our new ships. Sun Princess, we were just on recently. She did her North American debut. Star will be doing the same thing here in Fort Lauderdale in November of next year. So setting us up for an amazing, amazing season in the Caribbean in 26.
Yes. So quickly, because we're going to go into some of the new itinerary options that we're going to be offering. Sun Princess and Star Princess, again, Fort Lauderdale, 7-day Eastern, 7-day Western. I mentioned Sun Princess, third point there, the 14 East-West combination cruises. Holiday cruises, I've got there twice, and it's going to be annoying because I will be saying holiday cruises a few times today. And I think this is really cool because there is some great programming that we're rolling out on Sun and Star in particular for holiday cruises starting this year, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. And trust me, it is an extravaganza, no matter what you celebrate on board, that is coming your way. So holiday sailings will be called out throughout. And then Star Princess, shorter, which is great. So you've got that sampler for new to brand or new to cruise, and obviously a great way to hook them in with the best princess on the market there, or will be on the market. 7-day Eastern Western, and then the 14-day and holiday cruises. Port Canaveral, family focused. I won't call out the big D that's right there, but that's convenient as well because there's good pre and post opportunities for families. Established getaway for tourism. Obviously, there's lots of infrastructure, if you will, to support that pre and post and the experiences you have before and after your cruise, which kind of makes for a nice little extension no matter who you are. But particularly for families, and a great drive market for Florida, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina. Some of you are probably wondering, South Carolina, Alabama, people drive in, and Port Canaveral.
Absolutely.
Yep. So don't forget about that. And then Best US, it's a great home port. So it's easy to navigate. Not a lot of traffic, easy to park, whatever you need. Connectivity to the airport, great place to go.
Galveston. Yeah, I was going to say Orlando has great airports. I mean, it's just really, Port Canaveral is doing amazing things. So we're thrilled to welcome our Caribbean princess there this year. And then Galveston. So I'm going to talk about Galveston because even though you're going to talk about future Galveston, this year's Galveston, it becomes a very close-in market for us, right? Because we're not there year-round. We're there seasonally, and it causes, out of sight, out of mind kind of opportunities. So I just want to throw in that commercial because we've made a commitment to Galveston, Texas. I need you to make a commitment to us because we got to fill it, and sell it out. But Galveston, I'm hearing nothing but amazing feedback from folks sailing out of there. It's absolutely spectacular. It's going to be on my list.
They're loving it, and they're getting Majestic in 26, 27, which is great. So an upsized ship, a beautiful ship that I was just on, I can attest to. And I will say, Galveston, again, really interesting. We're not only new as a brand to the market, we're in a new space in the market. Galveston and surrounding areas, love cruising. Carnival is highly entrenched in the market. Royal has become highly entrenched in the market. We're a newcomer and blowing it out of the water as well, and fill a space that's not that big, experience, kind of onboard hardware Royal piece, and a little bit different than Carnival in terms of vibe. And I think, we talked a bit about the premium, personalized, the medallion piece. It just fills an interesting space that I think there's absolutely room for, and we're seeing room for with our successes there. And then San Juan, I also this is our last.
So excited.
I love San Juan. I think
we haven't been in San Juan in 10 years.
I know.
I just got to tell you, we pulled out of San Juan 10 years ago. Most recently, beginning of October, I actually flew to San Juan to do a consumer event. And listen, I've been doing this for 43 years. I do a lot of consumer events. I do a lot of conferences. There was 1,200 consumers. It was a one-day show. They had to split it to the morning and afternoon because they were so excited to have a princess ship, a premium princess ship back in San Juan. So these itineraries are spectacular. So get to them because it's for a wonderful cruise, and doing back-to-back is just amazing.
Absolutely. So I think in terms of sourcing your clients, just to pick up where Carmen left off there, there's a local opportunity. So if you do have client contacts or connectivity with San Juan in particular, we've seen, I'm sure we'll continue to see that we the new to brand and past guest is also a great opportunity in San Juan for those who have maybe again already done the 7 day runs before and they're just looking for some variety. And then I want to say too, the the San Juan I just think is super underappreciated. I mean, the culture, the history, the food, the people, the beautiful beaches. It's a great place to go. On an extension as well on either end. We've got from 7 to back 14 days, and you can really immerse yourself in my opinion, humble opinion, the most beautiful part of the Caribbean.
But
So,
I'll add to it too, because a lot of folks have done the traditional Eastern, Western Caribbean. I'm glad.
mhm,
Hold that spot right there in that map. And
got
they
it.
want more. They want different. Listen, folks, I can't redo the map or destinations, right? It is what it is. They're there. But the lift to San Juan is so quick. I mean, it's easy. There's so many airlines doing nonstop there. I think it's fantastic. It's going to open up a whole new world as far as the Princess world is. Super quick hop from Miami. It was like I was there. I opened my eyes and there I was.
You got it.
That is
Absolutely.
that's a powerful slide right there. There you go.
Yes. And this, within a flyer and a number of other things are right there on home one source
Mhm.
homepage, fair and square, and then of course in the sales and marketing materials as well. So just wanted to call that out. So exploring the Caribbean, just a reminder. I mean, we talk about Caribbean all the time, but really, what's the value proposition of going to the Caribbean, especially when you're talking to a new client or a new to cruise client, and you've kind of gotten over those initial barriers of cruising, that you can face in talking to new clients who've not been on one before. But what about the Caribbean? Beaches, wonderful. Adventure, check. Mayan ruins, history. We know about, whether it's snorkeling and diving in Belize and Roatan or history in Costa Maya. That whole element is covered on a Caribbean cruise, which I think is forgotten about by people sometimes. And then that island life and culture, that laid back diversity on each island. So each island is truly different, or I should say, port destination. Not everything is an island in the Caribbean, but island life and culture on the islands. Each is different, especially again going back to San Juan when you start, day after day hitting those 5 ports on a 7 day cruise. You really get to experience a number of different aspects of the Caribbean. And I think,
Absolutely rich in culture and history. Talk about
mhm,
cultural immersion. And the islands are so different. People think the Caribbean, they are very, very different from each other,
totally,
even within close proximity, right? It's incredible. More importantly, also, when I think about just how much port content there is on these cruises, right? On some of these San Juans, especially. I just absolutely love the way we bring the Caribbean on board, right? So we have the rhythm of the Caribbean, absolutely incredible. Because again, you want to make sure that you're bringing cultural immersion on board. So it's important for us to paint this picture and have the experience of what it is that you're doing. Me personally, when I go on a Caribbean cruise, I just love to relax. And the most beautiful beaches you will ever see, absolutely gorgeous. So there is a little to do for everything. So when you think of like steel drum, lessons, how cool would that be, right? The local cuisine, just the Caribbean themed entertainment. It just makes for an incredible, by the way, great family vacation because it really allows everybody to align. Absolutely love our rhythm of the Caribbean approach.
agreed. And for those of you that are more like me, nerdy, I guess nerd, culture, history kind of guy, whatever, and don't like to relax on the beach for more than a day or two, like Carmen, we bring the culture on board. And of course, there's the whole cultural aspect of the Caribbean I just want to highlight too as you're talking to, particularly folks that have not been there before. We think of the Caribbean a lot as, rum runners and, 3 to 7 day, whatever. There is a ton of culture from, again, Costa Maya down to, Martinique, Barbados. People from all over the world come to visit and experience, and we bring it on board, which I think makes the whole package and the richness of actually immersing yourself in that culture, something that's really unique that you don't see elsewhere. So that cuisine, the Caribbean themed, entertainment, steel drums, parrots on the piazza. I've not had an opportunity to see this, but I really, Carmen, I don't know if you've been to parrots on the piazza, but I need to see this experience
So
that
it's
is brought
very
on board.
festive. Like in Alaska, we do puppies in the piazza, right? So it's a
Yeah,
very big princess thing. And no matter what ship you're on, no matter what destination, we bring that cultural immersion on. We really do an amazing job of just marrying the two, ship and shore, in the countries and the destinations that we visit. We give a lot back, and it's just part of the fabric and the DNA of the brand. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then just shout out to Princess Keys. So I think if you have worked, mostly I assume if you're here, sell cruises. And if you have sold cruises, I know that you know the value of private islands for your guests and for people like Carmen who'd love to relax and love to have an extra relaxing experience in a private environment where, particularly with Princess Keys, your medallion goes onto land. That personalized service follows you. You can buy yourself a drink. You can have that drink delivered to you, and you have that extra touch when you're on Princess Keys. There's water sports. There's, of course, food and drink, like we just mentioned. There's shopping. A number of different activities and a diversity of things to do on Princess Keys as well. So really good for the family as well. So, parents can get a little break, kids can have a little action, everybody can have a little action together, relax together, whatever it may be. Whether it's Stingray Adventure, which of course very popular.
And, and you mentioned it. You can use your medallion. I was there last year with my family. We rented 5 of those incredible bungalows and had an amazing experience. And I love it because most recently everybody's talking about their private islands or private island. We've been around in that business for 2 decades. What are we talking about? We were kind of first. So, but it
That's right.
really is a great way, especially if you're port intensive, to add this wonderful day of just relaxation and a little bit of adventure. Folks want to do that. So it's absolutely phenomenal. Love Princess Keys.
Love it too. And there's a cabana for people like Carmen.
That's me right
you.
there in the yellow bathing suit. Just
I
so
was
you
going
know.
to say you're back there.
I did not give them permission, but that's okay.
I'm the lady with the computer being like, all right, that's enough relaxing time to go do something else.
Love it.
All right. Well, my speaker notes are not showing up. So my crash course in princess planning here is going to be put to the test. And we're going to start with going through our Caribbean itineraries. I'm not going to explain every port for every itinerary. I just want to highlight some of the nice things that we've got from short to long coming your way in 26, 27. So our 6-day Eastern Caribbean Turks and Caicos, we've got round trip Fort Lauderdale. There are holiday sailings the 20th and the 21st. I will be calling this out every single time because, again, there's lots of great stuff in the pipeline starting this year, rolling out to make that experience extra special. And this is the first time that we'll be in Port Canaveral we'll be in Port Canaveral, which we talked about earlier. Great place for families, great drive market for multiple states and Florida itself. So that is coming your way
and both Regal and Caribbean Princess. And by the way, because it's a 6-day, Blake, it's really great because you can add a pre or post and do you were talking about the Little Mouse if you needed to, right? Or the Kennedy Space Center. There's so much to do in Port Canaveral. 7-day Eastern, and to us, this is round trip Fort Lauderdale. We talk about how easy it is from a lift perspective. Folks can get into Fort Lauderdale. They can get into Miami. It's not a long drive. It really is 45 minutes. If you drive like I do, it takes about an hour because I'm very slow. Driving Miss Daisy kind of thing. But this is amazing, 7 days. And the fact holiday voyages are super popular, especially in the Caribbean, right?
Absolutely. And you've got Sun and Star both. So, there's a lot of new products coming into Florida the next year. And then I think we will be the All-Star again with Star. Both will be in Fort Lauderdale. And this itinerary thing is really interesting because we mentioned the private islands earlier. There are a ton of folks that just really value that relaxation. They are getting away to relax like Carmen. And so this with Grand Turk, Amber Cove, and Princess Keys is really a trifecta on that front on our best hardware, Sun and Star, or soon to be.
Both newest ships in our fleet. That's incredible. That's a huge commitment.
Eastern, this is one of my favorites because you get to do the private island and you get the culture that I, again, think we don't talk about enough in San Juan. I would stay there pre or post in San Juan if I was departing from there. Love it very much. November 26th to April 27 on Sun, great itinerary. We've got, again, that mix of relaxation. And if you want to relax on a beautiful beach, which San Juan has, or you want to get mofongo, or you want to experience the old city or the fortress, opportunity as well. So really nice blend there. There are also 8s on Regal that will be doing this as well. 8-day Eastern with Puerto Rico. Now this one's great because you've got the private, so this is really the I would say an advanced of what you saw before. So that third private island piece, which is really great. The through the winter time. So to thaw out, it's starting to get cold for some of you, I know. So a lot of folks will take that opportunity to spend all the time they can relaxing outside, soaking up the sun, and then maybe get a little culture in San Juan right out of Port Canaveral as well. So you've got this option in both Homeport, which is great, and then you've got Galveston, which we said is going gangbusters. We serve a new purpose for folks that have maybe tried, Carnival and Royal, maybe they haven't, but just serve a really interesting, again, space there with our more premium and personalized, big ship yacht fuel on board. From October 26th to March 27 on Majestic, which again I just got off of. Absolutely gorgeous ship, by the way. Like, blown away by it. It will be headed over there next year. We're upgauging the market because it's doing well, and they are getting, I think, a beautiful vessel with holiday sailings that will be amazing. So I'm going to keep calling this out. Our
Fantastic.
Western with Mexico. Now, I think Mexico kind of gets a rap in some cases, like the Caribbean too. If you're thinking about, like, my parents, oh, Cancun and partying, there's so much more there. There's so much more beyond the absolutely and tremendously lovely people in Mexico. There's the history piece. So if you're stopping in Cozumel, you have the option to shop and relax if you'd like to. You can also
Ruins.
go to the ruins, which are absolutely just breathtaking to see. And there's not just one, there are multiples.
Oh yeah, you could do Tulum, Chichen Itza. It is really very well versed in culture as well. So don't just think beaches. I mean, it truly is amazing to see ruins. Xcaret. I mean, there's just so many options when you're there.
I didn't think I would love Xcaret, just being the, like, here I am, disagreeing with Carmen again. Like, Xcaret was amazing. So it was just super fun. It's adventurous. It's it's kind of high speed, and it's just a really beautiful kind of facility if you want to experience.
Yes.
And the drive to Chichen Itza is worth it, by the way, in my opinion. So
I
Tulin's a little closer, but it's worth it. San Juan, my favorite today, San Juan. So 7 days or back-to-back 14s out of San Juan or Fort Lauderdale in 26 and 27. Absolutely amazing itineraries. These serve again, a space that if you've got that client who's done the Eastern, the Western, they're looking for something new. You're talking to perhaps a client in Spain or the UK, for those of you that are working internationally. Direct lift from Madrid and hopefully again soon the UK. So, and a great lift from the US as well. And looking at prices going into San Juan for airlift, really reasonable as well. So in some cases, not even as much as getting into Miami direct.
I mean, these itineraries, this is gorgeous. I mean, if you think about these, I mean, I wouldn't even know what to pick. So if you did, I've been to all of these. And let me tell you, you can go 10 times and discover so much more. St. Kitts, Tortola, Dominica, Barbados, which we all love. And it's just, and the fact that you could combine and do 2 weeks, talk about a real value, because you amortize the cost of the year that into San Juan is.
Oh, yeah.
The rates are amazing. Look at that sunset in Barbados. Absolutely. And St. Lucia. So look at, you would never think, and when you think of Grenada, you would never think of like like in Puerto Rico, you have these rainforests that are absolutely beautiful and these waterfalls. It is just, it's lush, it's breathtaking. It's really rich with history. I mean, really fun. Antigua, St. Martin, dare I say, do we go French or do we go Dutch, folks? St. Thomas, which everybody loves, Magens Bay, what a beautiful, I always go back to Magens Bay. I can't help myself.
I do too.
It's just so gorgeous there. St. Lucia, which I love as well. I mean, all of these itineraries are amazing, truly, truly amazing, and a little bit unique. So again, this is for someone who's done the Caribbean before. Maybe they've done San Juan, St. Thomas, St. Martin before. Let's give them this kind of immersion deeper into the Southern Caribbean, right?
Absolutely. I love Magens Bay, and I love Trunk Bay too. And if you're talking to somebody who's maybe a little more well-versed when about these particular voyages, I personally, as a travel agent, would call out Barbados and St. Kitts, which are two of our, we have found with our guests, most appealing. So they're looking for it. They know a little bit about it. They've heard about it, et cetera, and also have really high satisfaction when they get there and actually experience it, get off and tell us about it. So,
okay, Natalie says St. Lucia is still my most fave place to go. So I think in the next slide, you're showing some of these 14-day combinations, which I love. Because again, as a sales tip, and I love, think about it, you amortize that flight, whether it's San Juan, Fort Lauderdale,
Hmm.
and then you open up the world and they're doing 14-day combinations. These are spectacular. They get a little bit of everything. I mean, if you think about Belize, even there, if you're looking at those cruises,
Oh yeah,
wow, right? Roatan, Belize City, Cozumel. There's just so much that you're offering there. It's perfect combination of East and West.
totally agree. And let's talk about that a little more before we move on. Number three on the right there. I mean, if you look at that itinerary, that's got everything, right? You've got Princess Keys and that and Grand Turk, kind of the private island experience that we talked about before, Amber Cove as well. Then you're going to the Western Caribbean, where you can pick up anywhere from the culture and the history to the beaches and the snorkeling in Roatan and Belize, or diving even with the barrier reef there as well. And I'm dizzied by the one on the left, just to touch on that. I mean, the number of stops you get on that back-to-back 14 is just awesome and really gives you that cultural immersion um, of
And
the
Blake,
Southern
they're
Caribbean.
popping up saying
Okay,
amazing itinerary. So I love it. Love, love, love it.
thank you. Good, 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 good. Okay, this might seem random, but hear me out. For those
Not
of you
at
that are
all.
not in Florida and don't know what Brightline is, I did live in Miami for 10 years and I had to live next to the construction of the Brightline in downtown Miami. And I
I
just in
love it.
20 seconds will tell you I was going to lose my mind if I heard one more. It was an air horn and a foghorn every day at 7 a.m. that for some reason they would blow this air horn and foghorn and start the construction. So I'm glad Brightline turned out to be a great thing because
It
I
is.
suffered through a year of it and now it connects to Orlando as well. So my personal problems with its construction side, great experience. There is the commissionability, which we'll see in just a second on the next slide, and
So
it
the
connects.
webinar, just so you know, I did a webinar when we introduced and launched this earlier this year. I was in Orlando when we did the launch and we actually did the takeover. We have one of these gorgeous rail cars. It's Princess branded. Absolutely beautiful. I did this webinar
Right.
from there. The Wi-Fi was spectacular. I was in, the most upgraded seats, but this is not your typical train experience. This is rail, speed rail. I
Hmm.
just did it a couple weeks ago. My niece got married in Orlando. And my husband and I said, why are we going to drive with all that 95 or turnpike traffic?
Absolutely.
No way. It was seamless. He had a margarita. I had a mimosa. We were there in a blink of an eye. It's that quick and so amazingly comfortable. Love our partnership with them.
Love it, and I miss it, and I'm jealous that you all have this great thing that connects multiple ports there in Florida, which enables your clients who don't. I mean, let's be honest, the traffic leaving Miami is enough if you live down there. Trying to get to Orlando to start your vacation, is minimum whatever 4 hours if that's a good day. Take Brightline. It's relatively inexpensive for the great product
It
it is.
really
So
is. It truly is. And by the way, it's commissionable. We're going to get to that
yes,
slide.
let's
But
just
this is
talk about that.
really
There you
great. There, more commission for you. It really is. When you register, you're earning the commission, access to the lowest published fares that they have. We love these QR codes,
go.
folks. And there it is. So there's our branded train. That was so exciting. It's a beautiful partnership. If you go back to the other slide, because I want folks to see what the stops are, because it's
Sure.
not like, and I don't mean any disrespect to Amtrak, but frankly, you stop at every city along the way. Something that could be
Hmm.
a 3 hour tour turns into like an 8 hour day.
Yeah.
Horrible. This is quick. It's in Miami Central where you can pick it up if you're in Miami. Quick and easy. It stops in Aventura. And when I say stop, it is a stop and go. Fort Lauderdale, Boca, phenomenal. West Palm, and then go straight up. And eventually in the future, they're looking to go west to Tampa, which is fantastic because that also serves Tampa serves we're not there, but it's a cruise market. They can go
Hmm.
from Tampa to Orlando, and then we got Port Canaveral where we have ships. It's an incredible, credible, credible, credible way of traveling. Absolutely relaxed. You don't have to stress it. No gas price issues. You don't have to stop at one of these Florida stops with 30
Hmm.
people in line for the restroom. Dare I say more? So, absolutely a great option. Great option. Highly
That's the closer
recommend.
right there. Exactly. I,
Exactly.
we are going to talk about Panama Canal now, but I do want to
Shift
say too,
gears.
growing up, my mom refused to drive from Tampa, where I went to high school, down over to Miami for Lauderdale. Just scared her. So I think that I'm saying that because there's a great option to get people to Sun and Star, get people to maybe take a cruise from Fort Lauderdale, Miami, who may have thought before, I don't want to do the 5, 6 hour drive. I just don't want to get up early and do that, or go have to get a hotel, or pack up the car with my kid, unpack. Brightline. There you go. So again, November 19th, 31 departures, ports all over, six ships. So that, and excuse me, I'm just saying again, and I'm reset. We're talking about the Panama Canal, excuse me,
Yes.
November 19th, same date, 31 departures. We've got Star going through the canal. We've got everything from our intimate island, which is loved by many, to Star going through the canal.
Think about that engineering feat, because everybody's asking me,
Mhm.
how is that possible? How can Star be doing? Because of the way she was designed and engineered, she can go through the canal, right? The new canal. And I
Purposefully,
got to
yep.
tell you, purposely built to go through the canal. Think about that. No other
Mm-hmm.
cruise company could do that with new hardware unless they start in the West Coast somewhere, right? Because they can't. And we're getting this incredible ship. More to come. We've done Alaska with Star already. But what an amazing opportunity to do the Panama Canal on our newest ship. So I'll let you take it
Yeah.
away.
Well, let's talk about that experience for just a second too,
Mhm.
because I think Panama Canal is a hard one to convey. So we're looking at this image right here, right? So and I'm trying to get to Star through the canal and how amazing that in my mind would be, because it's a hard experience to portray, right? So you can show a photo of right here, ship going through the canal, but what does what's the purpose? What does it feel like? Princess is, number one on this product, and the experience is not just going through the canal and watching some locks go back and forth and sitting and looking at the landscape around. There is the historical piece and the learning piece of it too, through narration and a number of other onboard programming pieces and inclusions on these cruises that make going through an informative, really just
Yeah.
interesting experience beyond
And
what you
I've done
may
it.
imagine.
I've done it on Princess. I've done Panama Canal before. It really is an engineering marvel. Okay, if you think
Hmm.
about an experience, there's no other place like it on Earth where you can begin in one sea, and in hours you're traveling to a completely different ocean, bypassing South America. I mean, this is the continent of South America. It is really incredible, and we bring on Panama Canal experts that tell you the
Yes.
history of the locks, not just the old locks, the new locks in 16, right? And again, it really, really, it's steeped in tradition, and you hear this history from on board the ship in the comfort of your own stateroom. So if you've got a beautiful balcony, you could be out in the pool and you're doing these locks, and it never gets old to do a lock experience. I absolutely love it. So we did it 2 years ago on Caribbean Princess. So excited to see back and doing it on a new ship. I would love this.
I imagine it's a bit like Alaska in the sense that there is that that enrichment piece as well. So I loved my Alaska experience with Princess. So I guess that's how I would think about it, in terms of there's a richness to the experience as well. So great thing about
We have
our
several
itineraries, which
itineraries to go through, so let's go.
yeah. So we'll go through these relatively quickly, because I think one of the key points I want to drive home is that there are round trips and there are coast to coast. So, for example, Fort Lauderdale to Los Angeles. So you've got the opportunity for clients who want to return right home to experience the Panama Canal, and you've got opportunities for clients who uh, are comfortable going and are interested in going on a full transit through to the other coast, up, and perhaps stop in Los Angeles and go from there, whatever it may be. So two different options, which I think is great. You've got the 16-day, let's start with this one, excuse me, 12-day Costa Rica. This is one of the round trips I was talking about. So from Fort Lauderdale, you've got the more ashore or the late nights as well in this itinerary, which I love, in Aruba and Princess Keys. So you get that private island piece. You get a late night in Aruba, very popular stop that a lot of folks love going to or want to go to. You get the canal, and you're back home in Fort Lauderdale. How
But
great
there's
is
a
that?
lot here because, no disrespect to Princess Keys, absolutely great. But you get Aruba, you get Cartagena,
Mm-hmm.
Colombia, you get Colón, Panama, you get Costa Rica, pura vida. That's incredible. And then Grand Cayman. So this is very rich in destination for this with this Panama Canal cruise in 12 days. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Beautifully curated.
Agreed. Now here's an example of coast to coast. So 16-day Panama Canal, ocean to ocean, LA to Fort Lauderdale. This is November 26th to April 27, available November 26th to April 27 on our lovely island Princess. Through the historic locks, again, really rich in terms of destination focus here. So Aruba, Fuerte Amador, Panama, of course, the canal. And then you've got the Costa Rica and the Puerto Vallarta piece, the Puerto piece as well. So you get the history, the culture, the historic Panama Canal experience, the island experience in Aruba, and stop destinations that are not available on most other itineraries all in one, through and through, 16-day ocean to ocean. And then Fort Lauderdale to Los Angeles, October 4th and April 3rd. New locks, new ship on Star Princess. Imagine combining an experience that's a lifetime bucket list item for many folks, including myself, Panama Canal, with Star Princess being our forthcoming newest vessel, with that experience on board. And to me, that's a winner. So 16-day, 2 sailings there on Star Princess, specially designed to go through, and then ocean to ocean voyages, more of them. I know you've heard me talk a while, and we are getting to the end here, but just wanted to call out 16-day up to 23-day. We've got Vancouver, we've got Fort Lauderdale to San Francisco, a variety of those ocean to ocean options too, to keep in the back of your mind when talking to clients that are interested in this experience in any fashion, from coast to coast to round trip from Fort Lauderdale. I am wrapping up here by saying we all know where to find, including myself, again, being a travel agent. I love one source. Princess Academy is alive and well and winning awards still. Any questions on one source, please let us know. Customizable flyers for both of the different trades, so Caribbean and Panama Canal that we just talked about. And any questions, you know how to reach us. And thank you very much, Carmen, and for everybody for having me.
Our pleasure. Stand by, Blake, because they might have some questions. We take them at the end. I'll take it from here because that's really an amazing. It's a plethora of options, folks. So when you're talking Caribbean, Panama Canal, we do it right. So Denise, I'm interested. These are fantastic. Thank you, Denise. That's why we love doing these webinars, because we bring subject matter experts. And congrats on joining the Princess family and coming back to the corporation. So sales tools, Joe and his team, it's Ann, it's Brandon, they do an amazing job. Anytime we are going to market and launching a new destination or a new season, they always ensure that you have all of the things you need, the full deployment flyers, everything available, assets in social media, you name it, customizable, so you can personalize it, because personalization is key. And then, of course, everything is available on onesourcecruises.com. So I'm going to shift real quick, and I know that you're going to stay on with me, Blake, just in case there's any questions. I'm just going to come with a couple news notes and reminders. I know I will be leaving our webinar, our Fort Lauderdale studio office, and I'm heading straight to Cruise World. But I want to just give you a couple new additions. Some things that are coming down the pike, starting November 11th. So we're going to do a new enhancement to our customer satisfaction survey. If you've ever been on a call with us and they ask you, you stay on, you could do. This is really looking at transactional net promoter score. So we're going to go ahead and add a TNPS score. Many of you know what net promoter scores are. This is important because we want to understand and measure the loyalty, the satisfaction of the interactions of whether it's you, our travel partners, or our guests when they are working with us. I think from day one when I joined and came aboard, I always said we want to be a pleasure to do business with. And our goal is really to enhance these efforts and to provide exceptional service. We're about to enter the busiest time of year, with obviously Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and the whole Thanksgiving holiday and shopaholics galore. And then we're entering wave for 25. So this could not be at a better time. It really allows us to have learnings and to be able to share with you what we're doing. So we talked a lot about Sun and Star. We're going to continue to talk about Sun and Star, but mostly Sanctuary Collection, because I think we as a brand were late to this concept, probably 10 years late. But we're here now, we've arrived, and we're taking it to a whole new level. So this is that ship within a ship curated experience. From Sunrise, it is just next level service. Really, it's a private, if you think about, we are elevating our service level. It's like the ship within a ship is luxurious staterooms. Guests in these suites, absolutely beautiful. These staterooms, whether they're suites or mini suites or even our veranda, deluxe balconies, the Princess Premier package is included. So just think seamless and carefree. Suite lounge access, so they have their own private lounge, private restaurant, Sanctuary Suite guests only. It is absolutely, and we had the showing here, and we're getting the most incredible rave reviews. And we do have a Sanctuary offer. It's limited. It's only there through the 3rd, but really we're looking at a $1,400 savings. QR codes, I'm going to put them all at the end. Do not worry. But having seen this and talked to our travel advisors, that's the actual Sanctuary. Other ships that do this, it's a small area. I've been at a couple of them, and feels a little, very limited in size and spectrum. For us, this is a beautiful area with gorgeous cabanas. It's an expansive, I mean, it's a game changer. It truly is. And it's gonna kill it. So right now I've extended the bonus commission offer on Sanctuary Collection because originally we had it and then we had just showcased the ship and it was going to expire. I'm like, no, no, no. Let's put it through on anything that you book, either Sun or Star, period, in the Sanctuary Collection. You'll get this, and you don't have to do anything, by the way. It automatically attaches to the voyages as long as it's within the Sanctuary Collection. So I think that's pretty awesome. And then we talk about Princess Academy. By the way, Princess Academy has won Best Educational Program as well for Travel Weekly Readers' Choice Awards. So we are nominated in the educational program as well. So if you haven't done it, it really is incredible. It allows you to have this expertise. But remember, we also have to release new courses every year. It is truly robust so that you could keep those Commodore benefits and keep you very engaged with the Academy. So we just released a Princess Fleet course, right? So updated ship features, onboard programs, and so much more. Again, really important. We understand you have choices on who you sell, but it's always great to be able to sell what you know and who you know. And then we decided to go out early with our cyber sale. So last year, I think if you recall, we launched our cyber sale and our Black Friday sales, so to speak, on the Monday before Thanksgiving. And many of you didn't have time to ramp up. So this time around, we listened to your feedback and said, you know what? We've had such robust sales. Even the end of October was really good. Thank you very much. So let's go ahead and educate you and tell you what we're doing so you know. So this is November 8th through November 11th. Cyber sale, free room upgrade, third and fourth, 50% deposits and up to 50% off. And then the cyber sale, again, better than best price guarantee. This was very, very successful. And we had these great bookings, right? And so if you think about how we do this, available in 25, 26 sailing, and it's a guarantee that, let me tell you, you're not going to need, because we've really enjoyed promoting that. And then I kind of asked the team, let's ensure we're including military, right? Because I hear other brands that talk about it and they make it sound like they're the only ones. Our Princess Military benefit, the up to $250 in onboard credit. It's active, retired, and disabled veterans. It's available anytime, on any cruise, on any ship. All 17 of our fleet, 16 operating. The Star comes next year. There is no limits to it. And of course, we salute their service, as we know, and Veterans Day is coming up. And it's just an amazing thing that we have year round. And yet I always find I go to presentations and other brands tout it, and yet we've got it. So I want to make sure that you are all aware and that we're promoting it as best we can. And so last webinar, Marcia and I said to her, we really didn't talk about, you know, the success that we had on Sun Princess and the launch. So it was really wonderful. Very short period to make its North American debut. That's me on the stage. It was great with Corinne, our cruise director, and there's our president. And that is Tyra Banks. Tyra was talking about her incredible partnership with us that we'll talk about in a second. But again, Reader's Choice Award, we're up for those awards. I think it's really, really good for Travel Weekly. But the Sun Princess was voted. Remember, folks, she started in February. Can you imagine? Megaship. She was voted by the readers of Condé Nast as the best megaship coming into service this year. So really nice, a lot of pomp and circumstance. Underneath Tyra's feet, you see this I Love Princess. That was a drone show that was remarkable, spectacular. And then we talked about a lot of partnerships. We have so many partnerships that we've really elevated our game in food and dining and that F&B space. And Spellbound is not just a magic show. It is actually an exclusive partnership with Magic Castle from LA. So it is just taking a fusion of entertainment and dining and making it a very unique venue for us on board. And then we talked next level love, but it was really wonderful. We've introduced this Love line of premium liquors. You know, we own Love. It is a beautiful thing. And most of you don't even know this. And I said, we got to let them know. We've got these incredible partnerships. So Pitbull, dare I say, Mr. 305. Sometimes I think he's 7, he's Mr. Worldwide. So he's not going to stay to 305. But that is his incredible Voli 305 vodka, premium vodka. We have Romero Brito, amazing artist, right? Brazilian artist. He has created on Sun Princess Love by Romero Brito. It's so incredible. What an amazing experience. But then we created this incredible love Prosecco. And then we've got Jason Aldean. We talked about Liev Schreiber. Oh my God, all of this. And then I'm excited. I'm running through. I'm sorry, Jason. Sorry, Liev, because I happen to love how we introduced Matthew McConaughey and Camila's Pantalones Tequila. Pretty exciting. So he did a great video, great assets on social media. And then when we were on Sun Princess, we announced dun, 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 the amazing Blake Lively and her Betty Boo's Betty Buzz. So absolutely great. That's an absolute new brand partnership, and it's available in Betty Boo's, Betty Buzz, alcoholic and non-alcoholic. And there's more to come, folks, if you can imagine that. Yes, there's more to come. And I loved putting that in there because I think many folks, we're not yesterday's princess, we're today's princess. And we're bringing the Love Boat to the next level experience and just finding ways to make sure this brand resonates with you, our travel advisors, but also your guests. So, do we have any questions, Joe? We're going to try to take them as quickly as we can because I know we're at the top of the hour. If we have any Q&A and you want to pop them up, okay. Jerry, okay, we have a question for you. Blake, Jerry wants to know, what is a partial canal crossing?
Partial canal crossing is I would call it a single way through. It's hard to describe. It's like a single way through the canal, and so the Fort Lauderdale would be an example. Where there's actually two ways to go. You can go through and back. You're just doing one of those ways. That would be a partial.
So are you doing like a Gatun Lake, turning around and going back?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes. So
it's not the whole transit.
Correct. Thank you. I've struggled to describe the partial crossing. It's a good question.
I've done them both. That's why I know. I've done the two. I've done the 14-day, 16-day, and I've also done the 10-day with just one lock and then going right back.
Right.
So it's partial.
Thank you.
Partial transit. No, my pleasure. You kidding? I love it. Any other questions, Joe? Because normally we take them in advance, Blake, but Joe's been working hard. Okay, Joyce wants to know, is Princess planning a partial canal round trip from, is that Los Angeles?
Not that I know of. So good question. There is obviously the coast to coast in and out, but not round trip at this time.
Not partial. So we got the partial from Fort Lauderdale. Okay.
Correct.
Let's see if we can get one more. If there is, okay. Jeff B, is there a shuttle from Fort Lauderdale stop to Port Everglades?
Yes, there is available through us and otherwise, I will say. So yes, that's free and post.
Yep. Excellent. To get you there and back. Any other questions? If not, ta-da! I want to thank you. Welcome to the family, Blake. Great job introducing. And again, November 12th, right, for loyalty, and November 19th, available on sale to the general public. Really great.
$200 offer.
Absolutely phenomenal. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Thank you, Janice. I want you to sail on Princess soon too. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We're going to get to hear from incredible. Thank you, Allison. Great, incredible.
Thank you all.
From my good friend Marsha, who's just had her daughter get married. So she better provide us some beautiful pictures so we can live vicariously through her. And life is about the moments in time. And being the Love Boat, we love celebrating love. So to all of you, thank you as always. Thank you, Blake. And thanks all of you for joining us on Connect with Princess. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Make it a great selling week, everybody. Carpe diem.
Have a good one. Thanks, Carmen.
Thank you.